Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 33 of Parkside Chat. I'm already counting down to the next cruise. My name is Brian. That was not a good intro, but that's what we're going with.
Just go with it. And then welcome, foolish mortals. I'm your ghost host, and with my new sign, I'm TJ.
And I'm back again. It's me, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz. Welcome back. I mean, for us too, like it doesn't seem like we may able to do this like every week. It's like every other week lately, which is fine.
Yeah.
Busy, but in a good way.
But how are you,
traveling
Liz?
the world.
I'm
good.
Are things slowing down for you work-wise?
Yes. We are finally into July, which is crazy that it's July.
It's very crazy and scary.
And just like Matt was like, "Oh, it's already July 4th." I'm like, I can't. Like that's just too much. But
what are you guys doing for July 4th?
I think we're gonna pop over to Jasmine's house. My friend Jasmine, and her boyfriend just moved in together.
Oh,
which is fun. So I think we're gonna pop over there, and then we have another barbecue at night. So we're gonna, hopefully, make it to both, and then be home to watch the fireworks here. How about you guys? What are you doing?
We're actually going up to Jacksonville to see my family.
Oh, that's
for the 4th.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna stay there for the night and then head back that next day.
That'll be good.
We haven't been up to the Jacks in a while.
That'll be fun. Oh, good.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see my family. Good. It's been a while.
Well, welcome everyone. So we've been pretty busy since we last chatted. Why did we not come together last week? I just don't remember. Oh, you know what? It was because of the subway drone.
Oh, that's right.
Subway drone. And that was my birthday.
Yeah, it was Liz's birthday. So the subway drone, it came at about 6 o'clock. And then I had to produce content for the subway campaign that I was working on, like right then, immediately. So it just wasn't possible. So Rachel's saying that TJ needs a different camera angle with new decor. Yeah, and I told him it's hard because we don't have a lot of depth in this. Like there's some depth behind me, but it's just we're really normally so in on our faces. And it's hard. It's a little bit difficult, but maybe we'll eventually figure something out. But I can see it nicely. It looks good from the desk. But I am going to link, and TJ will link to this sign. They sell it on Amazon, and it's a neon sign that says "Welcome, Foolish Mortals."
I feel like we need to get one. I'll get one for Chelsea.
Hopefully,
I love that.
Mom's here from Hot, Oklahoma, but she just sold her AC unit. So that sounds really that's weird. That's weird sounding, but she actually sold the AC unit that her and Dad had on their property in the cabin. That's what she sold. So she didn't sell her whole house AC. Like
Mom,
don't be concerned. Don't be concerned.
It's the summer.
So anyway, yeah, that's why we didn't come last week, because we maybe were going to do it, but then Subway came, and then I had to produce content, like turnaround content to get approved, which didn't get approved for like 2 days, but whatever. We go with the flow. So that's why we weren't here last week. But on Wednesday of last week, we did our first VIP tour. Liz, have you ever been on a VIP tour?
No, I'm so jealous.
TJ's, it's cut off here a little bit, so we'll move it down there. So our friend Matt and his husband Andrew invited us on a VIP tour, and it was very nice. Our tour guide was Seth. We were at maximum capacity within the group. So on a VIP tour, you can take 10 people with you. And I definitely recommend this for people that want to get things done in like 2 or 3 days at Walt Disney World. Like they just want to go bam, bam, bam. Maybe somebody who wants an extra set of hands as well to help them through. That's what I would recommend it for sure.
Mm-hmm. And for reference, ours, we started in the afternoon. We didn't do the full day. So that would have been a very long
technically
day.
It was like for what they sell the tour as, correct me if I'm wrong, Liz, it started at 2, it was done at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
so technically that is the full length minimum amount of tour that you can have. If you were just to purchase a tour, that's what you would get.
Right.
And then if you add on hours to the day, it's more money added on. So, but yes, as TJ said, we started at 2 o'clock and went for basically what, 6 hours, 7 hours?
Which is nice because when you do start in the afternoon, they'll set you up with VIP viewing for whatever the evening show is. So that's the benefit of starting later, is that you're guaranteed a spot for, whatever the nighttime show is for the park that you're at.
Right. So with this, you do have to have park admission. So everyone had to have their own park admission. However, they were to get in the park, and it had to be a park hopper. Because they did scan us once. Well, we scanned to get into Animal Kingdom, which is where we met inside the park. And then we scanned at Studios, but then we didn't scan at Epcot, and we didn't scan at the Magic Kingdom.
That's right, yeah.
I think maybe because we scanned at Studios, they knew we had a park hopper, so I guess it didn't really matter anymore, since on that second park we scanned in. Anyway, we did all 4 parks, and we did at least 2 attractions.
So we did a total of 10 rides.
Yes,
which is nice. I'm trying to remember like the full list. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to name them all, but we started with Everest, went over to Flight of Passage. Did we do anything else in Animal Kingdom, or is that it?
That's it.
Left there, went to Studios, or Studios. We walked all the way over and did Slinky Dog. Then we went over to do Rise. Then we went back over to do Tower of Terror. They did it. We skipped it because Brian had to.
Subway content.
It kind of cut into the day.
I had to re-record Subway content in the park.
Oh my god.
So behind the scenes, when they ask for content and they need specific wording, if you get one word off, you just have to re-record that section. And so we had to step aside, and he did that. Normally, I'll do Tower of Terror, but I was feeling off that day, and I feel like if I had done it, I would have got nauseous. So I was like, let me just skip it to be safe.
He's getting old
for the rest of the day.
Even though you did Guardians.
Over 30.
Yeah. Yep. But I did Guardians after that, so it was fine. So after we did Tower, we left, and then went over to Epcot.
Well, we actually did Mickey Minnie's too.
That's right, we did that.
We did Mickey Minnie's, then Tower. Then they did Tower, and then we left.
And we would go to Epcot next?
Epcot.
And then we started with Guardians.
Yes.
And we got Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which is the best song, in my opinion. And if you disagree, that's on you. You're wrong.
Okay.
What did we do after that? Where did we go next?
We went to the eatery, Connections Eatery. We had a bite there. Then we went to Soarin'. And then we left, and we went to Magic Kingdom. So we didn't do any World Showcase. We didn't touch the World Showcase. We only stayed in the front of the park.
And then at Magic Kingdom, we did, I think we just did the one, right?
We did Tron.
Tron, and then Big Thunder. Correct.
Oh,
and so, unfortunately, we weren't able... Generally, they would have us in... private viewing at the hub, and supposedly it was blocked off. Bob Iger was visiting the same day that we were on our tour, so we're not sure if they were blocking it off for Bob Iger and his crew. The Bob Iger. And so we're not sure if they were blocking it off for his crew, but we were up at the train station, so it was kind of cool just to see. It had been a long time since I'd seen the fireworks from up on the train station, but they left the lights on the train station, which I feel like back in the day they didn't. But maybe I'm wrong about that.
It made it a little hard to see the projections.
They could have left the the town center lights on, like Tony's lights on, and they could have left City Hall on, but there was really no need to leave. They really should have turned the lights off on the train station, at least the back end of the train station. It was
weird.
It was very bright.
It was very bright.
But at least an easy exit.
Yeah.
Yes, we did exit from there. We stayed a little bit after the fireworks just to talk.
Chat. Yeah.
But because we were there at the end of Main Street and we were parked at Contemporary, because that's where we parked at the beginning of the day, it was a really super easy exit.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, it was great.
And what about like snacks? Did you get like water, popcorn?
We had Smart Waters generally throughout, except for the last water bottle supply we were provided Dasani. But it was nice to get Smart Water because I wasn't expecting Smart Water, so it was nice to get Smart Water. Ice cream at the end. I'm trying to think of any snacks. He did pick us up Starbucks.
Which was nice, yeah.
When we were at Animal Kingdom, he picked up Starbucks for us.
It started to drizzle, and he got us ponchos.
Yes.
Wow. Hey.
Ponchos before we even started to drizzle.
That's $20 right there.
We have them behind there on the bed, the day bed here in the office. So we didn't even open them up. They're fresh, unused, $20 ponchos from Walt Disney World.
That's really good.
But Seth was really great. Seth is a great tour guide to have if you want a lot of Disney knowledge, which why wouldn't you? But he was very efficient. He really pushed us through the day because they were walking fast.
They sure were.
and I can walk fast. I have long legs, but
he was booking it.
Yeah, I was not booking it in that heat. So we stayed up. We kept up, but like
for the most part, yeah.
They were booking it. They were doing it.
You were trekking.
They were trekking.
How wait, I have another question. How did everybody agree on like what attractions to do? Like, did you meet as a group? Because I know it was like
we kind of
a couple other people.
Matt kind of like
took the lead on that.
Kind of knew we were doing e-ticket attractions. We really wanted to do Tiana's, but they weren't allowing Tiana's still. Because it was before Friday the 28th. So we weren't allowed to do Tiana's with the tour guide. But that was okay. So we did the e-ticket attractions, as big of an e-ticket as you can get basically in each park.
Yeah.
Except for, everywhere we had the e-ticket. So Tron, Flight of Passage, Rise, and Guardians. So the biggest e-tickets in each park, we did all of them. So
I think Seth did a really good job at mapping out our route as well. Especially when we got to Studios because it was about to start pouring.
And Epcot too. So
so he kind of walked us over to Slinky Dog because he was like, "Hey, let's get this out of the way before it drizzles or any weather."
Yeah. When this is the magic of a VIP tour. So we dropped off at Guardians. We did Guardians. We went over to Soarin'. While we were riding Soarin', Seth left us to go get the van and take it from backstage at Guardians to backstage at Soarin'. Wow. So we didn't have to backtrack. He had to backtrack, of course, but we didn't have to backtrack.
That's nice.
So that's the power of VIP tours because, you can get places very, super speedy because you're using backstage access points. So that's what I would say, with a VIP tour, if you're looking to get stuff done quick, if you want that Disney level service with you the entire time you're in the park, I mean, it's a great experience. It's a great product, I would say. And if you have the ability to do so,
I can book it for you.
Yeah, TJ can book it for you.
And then can you request VIP tour guides specifically?
You can request tour guides. It's going to be based on, the days that they work.
I'm just gonna request Seth from now on.
But you can, or we could. There's other ones. We have.
We could.
Chelsea's
Lynn.
friend.
I was gonna say Lynn. Yeah.
And Lynn.
Lynn or DeQuinn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lynn, DeQuinn, or Seth. If you guys.
Those are our top three.
If you need a VIP tour guide, we know.
We have options.
We know some VIP tour guides.
But yeah, Seth was so knowledgeable. Like he knew everything, all the little details within Disney. It was so fun. And we bonded about Wicked too, so that was nice. Also,
November
speaking of Wicked,
22nd.
I was just about to say, so special news. She has moved the date. My best friend, Ariana Grande, has moved the date to November 22nd because it was competing with Moana. So now we'll get more premium screens for it, which is nice.
Oh, I was wondering why the date changed, and I was like, maybe just because like Thanksgiving and like, I don't know. That makes sense that Moana is coming out.
And then also, finally, put it right there. She sent me my signed album. I finally got it.
I'm sorry, what?
She sent me my signed album.
How did you get a signed album?
You pay for it.
Don't ask questions. She's my best friend.
You pay for it.
But yes, I paid for it. But I finally got it.
It was only $20. It was.
But it took me a minute to get, but I finally got it.
Did you buy it direct from her or from a
for her website?
Yeah. No, I just DM'd her. I was like, "Hey, bestie, can you just send me one?
Can you just like
I gave you $20.
Help me out. Help me out." Oh wow. You just Venmo'd it to her. Very nice.
Yeah.
So mom is asking, is the tour through Disney or private? So it's through Disney. So you can only do a private tour with a group of people that you know, whereas at Universal, if you wanted a VIP tour, you can choose for it to be private with just people you know, or you can choose a VIP tour where it's a group of individuals who don't know each other. At least they don't know each other at the beginning of the tour. Anyway, so we're going to move on because the day after the tour, we had our cruise. So in order to go to the cruise, we did partner with Brightline. Brightline hosted us for a premium experience from round trip from Orlando to Miami, and then on a return from Miami back to Orlando. So this is our first time doing premium. Included in premium, you get a lounge to hang out in with refreshments.
Breakfast.
And yeah, for our trip there, it was breakfast, and there was coffee. You could even get wine if you wanted to. They have a wine dispenser.
By the tap.
Do they have beer too?
Beer.
Sure did.
They have continental, like a continental style breakfast set up. And then once you're in the train, headed to your destination, they walk through the premium cabin, and you get complimentary refreshments. Yes.
Nice.
So it was very nice. Liz has traveled premium on Brightline as well. And she has always spoke highly of it. It was a very nice experience. So the picture in the middle is of a 4-person kind of table. We had a 2-person table, so it was just us facing each other, which was really nice.
That's really nice, yeah.
And honestly, the trip there, it didn't feel long at all.
Either of the trips, I didn't think felt long.
I think it's because we were working through it too, so it just like flew by.
Yeah.
How long is the actual?
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No, but it really flies by because you're occupied with whatever, you have your electronics. You don't have to drive that horrible drive.
Yeah.
There's some sights to see here and there. So it's a nice ride. And
I will say though, if you have a stop in between Orlando and Miami, they are very efficient on getting people on and off. So you can't lollygag while you're getting your stuff. Like you need to get off and get on. Yeah. Because they will leave.
Yep. So on our way back.
I was gonna say, make sure when I did it, we flew into Fort Lauderdale and then took it down to Miami for my Virgin cruise, and I went with my mom. And you can stow larger bags, but you have to get there early to get those bags checked. I didn't know that. So like I know that you guys had like carry-on bags, basically like backpacks and little roller bags. I forget what the dimensions are, but basically if you would have to check it for an airline, you have to check it with them. But you have to get there early because they basically pre-stage all of those bags so they can just quickly get it onto the train. So
gotcha.
Oh, that's
word
nice.
to the wise.
And then also make sure you're getting on the right train too. Right. I don't know if you heard, but I think what's the stop after Orlando or before? So going Orlando to Miami, what's the stop right after that?
It is West Palm. From Orlando, you go to West Palm.
Yeah, so from West Palm to Orlando as we were coming back, I think someone got on expecting to go the opposite way, but they were headed towards Orlando, and she got on and she talked to one of the assistants on there, and he's like, yeah, you're going the wrong way.
So she was meaning to go from West Palm to the Fort Lauderdale airport, and so she got on the wrong way, and so
she just kind of had to sit there.
She jumped off.
Did she? I was about to. No, I'm like jumped off, like got on and then got right back off. But no, yeah, she just had to sit there.
Like a Jack and Rose jumped off.
So she basically was kind of working through it in her head, and was like, "Well, I'm gonna miss my flight." And he's like, "Well, maybe you should try to change your flight to go out of Orlando because you're gonna be at the airport in Orlando."
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to this poor girl, but she was kind of handling it pretty good. I thought I would have been like
pulling the emergency
handle. My face would have been worse than hers.
Yeah.
But also, gosh, I hope I would never get on the wrong train.
I would just pull the emergency handle and be like, I'm gonna get off.
Because was there 2 trains at the station? I mean, I don't know.
Probably.
Because Brightline is pretty good about keeping people off of the platform
until it's your time.
Right. People.
And they're a great communicator, like Amtrak. Like this track, this train, this destination. That's crazy.
Right.
Right. The poor thing.
Yikes. But yeah.
Anyway, but they got us there, and we hung out. When we got to Miami, we hung out in the area of the Brightline station for a little bit because it was still a little bit too early to go to our 1:30 boarding for Virgin Voyages. That was the cruise line we sailed on. So we waited in that area, but it was super easy. With premium, you get Uber $10 Uber credit, which basically covers your Uber within a 5-mile radius of the station. And if you're going further than that, it just gives you a discount on your Uber. So I think I ordered from the station to the port, I ordered a Comfort Electric. And so I paid like $8, and then on the way back, we got I think just Comfort. I forget what I ordered. I think just Comfort, and it was like
a Honda Pilot.
It was like $8 or $10 for that. So not too bad.
That's great.
I always prefer the Comfort, even if it's just a regular Comfort, because I would prefer to have a nicer vehicle with a more professional driver, I guess, because normally those drivers are more a little more professional. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through things that we've never done before on Virgin. So we're not going to talk the whole Virgin experience. You can go back and watch all of our Virgin Voyages videos because we have that all documented. We have both the Dominican Days itinerary on Virgin, which goes to the Dominican and Bimini. So we have that documented. We also have our Mediterranean cruise documented. So you can go back on our YouTube channel and watch those. So for today's discussion, we'll be talking about new things that we've never done before. And so the first thing is on our first full day on the ship. It was a day at sea. And so we had been wanting to do this on both cruises, but for whatever reason just didn't.
I think because the first time we just walked into it and was like, oh, that's cool. And then the second sailing on the Med, I was like, we're definitely doing this. By the time we got on the ship, it was already sold out. And they've changed things here, and they've now put it in the Red Room, which makes a lot more sense. So what is this? So this is VHS. It's called VHS, but this is a workout class. The VHS stands for Videos, Headbands, and Simmons. So it's around that. What genre would you say?
Or aerobics. It's like aerobics, but like 80s, 90s aerobics, like very camp, kitschy aerobics.
Like Madonna, Janet Jackson, Russell Simmons, Run DMC. And it was definitely like a 70s, 80s vibes. You can see the one on the far left, the instructor. He had the, what are those ankle leggings? He had those leg on. Warmers. Yeah, leg warmers, those thingies. And so I was like, I'm taking this opportunity and reusing my Halloween costume that was Ken. And so I wore that. And it was so funny. I was not the only one that had that costume on. So I had the right idea.
And there was quite a lot of people who dressed up. So this is an opportunity if you kind of just want to get into the fun of it. You can dress up, and you'll see the woman on the very right hand side. She's wearing a aerobics outfit that looks like it's from the 80s, 90s. And there was people like with MTV shirts on, and it was cute. People got into it, and it was a workout.
It was kind of long too.
It was long. It was 50 minutes. So there was 3 instructors, and basically each of them had like, I don't know, a 20-minute set almost, like a 15-minute set. It was long.
There were breaks in between for like water and stuff, but
like less than halfway through the third one, I was like, I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines. She had us on the floor. I was like, you lost me at the floor, girl. I'm having a seat.
They cleaned it, right?
Yeah, I'm having several seats.
But it was nice that they put it in the red room because there was plenty more space, and the music system in there is really nice.
So with the red room, this room is where the larger productions are held. So they were on the stage. Where we are standing, or where the people in the class are standing, they can pull out stadium seating, like nice theater seats, and it's not just crappy theater seats. They're nice theater seats, but they can pull those out so it could be a full theater. But for this, they had some of those pushed back so that there was open floor for this class. Previously, this class, as well as some of the other shows, had been in the Manor, which just with a sailing that's fully booked is not ideal to get more people into classes like this. I will say that this sailing was fully booked, and it was our first. We were nervous because it was our first sailing where the ship was fully booked, and we thought it went really well. We did not think that it felt overcrowded most of the time. The only time when it felt like, oh gosh, there's a lot of people, is when we're all doing the same thing at once, like getting onto the ship or getting off the ship, or just like there's a concentrated activity where most of the people on the ship would want to partake, which was very few and far between because most people are just doing their own thing. So
right.
But it wasn't a situation where we had to wait in long lines, or except for ice cream. The only line was an ice cream.
It's just so odd. You see the line like wrapped around the wall. I'm like, all right.
So the first night, this is sail away night. So this is actually kind of out of order. So this has actually happened before the VHS aerobics class. This was the first night that we were on the ship, and this was their infamous PJ party. It used to kind of be kind of secretish. Now it's really not a secretish thing. They just have it listed on the app, right? Didn't it used to be more secret, Liz?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, yeah, Liz, you can say.
It was. Well, I think when I had my sailing in October. October 22 was when I did it. And it was definitely more under the radar, but I think it would just like show up in the itinerary, like, oh, wear your pajamas. Like, I don't know. It didn't have like this, like, come prepared with your PJs type of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad y'all went. Mom and I didn't go. She said we couldn't wear our PJs out. Devastated.
Mary Jo.
I know. I'm like, come on, Mom. Because she had her 2-piece ready to go. But no, we saw people and then we went to bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I first heard about it, when we first went, you had to. I did some research and I saw videos. You had to like ask the crew about it.
Yeah,
you would have to ask specific crew members, like,
super...
hey, what's going on tonight?
What's going on? Yeah,
and then they would tell you
and get the little magic cards, whatever they were.
So basically this is just like, this is on the athletic deck at the aft of the ship, and basically they turn the outdoor bar there. Yes, there's a bar on the athletic deck. They basically turn the bar into like a club. They put on extra lighting.
They have a DJ back there.
They have a DJ set up behind the bar, and they have they had a special shot, and then they had a special cocktail that you could purchase. And man, when it started, the people came. Like, we were only like 15 or 20 minutes into this party, and this is what the crowd looked like. Like, people know about it and they come out for it, and people like buy special PJs for it. Like, they go all out for the PJ party, and it's just a lot of fun. The DJ played good music, and it was fun time. I mean, we didn't stay forever
because it started at 11. It was well past our bedtime.
So that's why we normally don't go to these things, because we're in bed by, like, especially on the cruises, we're in bed at like 9:30 or 10.
Because our day starts early just to get there.
It's so busy, and every day the cruise is packed with something. So normally we're in bed by this time, but we made a strong effort on this cruise to stay up for things and experience new things. And I think every sailing we've experienced new and different things. And we still have things that we want to do. So,
yeah, we ended the trip saying that there's still stuff we haven't done yet.
Right. And that's just like, it's like, you would think that, oh gosh, you're going to run out of stuff to do. But on these cruises, you really don't. The way that they have them planned out with different activities. And Virgin has to rely on activities more than like even like a Royal Caribbean ship. They just have like full out like freaking roller coasters and water parks on their ships. Right. Virgin is doing a great job with building out experiences that are put on by the people that they hire as crew, which they do a really good job with that.
The Happenings cast.
The Happenings team.
Yep, the Happenings team.
Yeah. Anyway, I would recommend staying up for this, getting you a PJ set that you would be comfortable going out in public with. I have my Virgin Voyages Spirit jersey on. TJ just had a black shirt, and then we had Christmas pajama bottoms on. They were just plaid pajama bottoms, but like you could tell that we pulled it out from Christmas. Yeah. So I think in the future maybe I would pack something like, get a silky pajama set. Or
yeah, I was gonna say I saw a few couples with like matching silk pajamas, so we should definitely do that next time.
Like can we get you monograms?
That would be cute.
Yeah. Cute.
That'd be cute. Anyway, so great experience with this. Happy that we stayed up for this. All right, so the next night, was the next night? Yes, we went to Razzle Dazzle. So this is actually the same day that we did the VHS in the evening. We went to Razzle Dazzle for dinner, which we have been to Razzle Dazzle for brunch or for breakfast, but never for dinner. And I thought the food was pretty good. The fried chicken was good. These wings, specifically the wings, were very good. I also had the fried chicken for my entree, but these wings were very good. It had like a dry, peppery rub on them, and then whatever aioli came with was very good.
And then you can always ask, Razzle Dazzle has a secret menu. And so for this night, they had a blue cheese burger.
Which honestly, it's probably one of my least favorite things I've actually ever had on a Virgin Voyages.
That was good. He doesn't really like blue cheese.
I don't love blue cheese. And also I thought that the patty was worse than the patties that they have in the galley. And it was dry patty, and it didn't taste made to order. It tasted like it had been sitting. Though I will say I did enjoy Virgin Voyages fries, the fries that they served here, as well as the fries that they serve in the galley.
Yeah, they're pretty consistent.
Which was really good. The fries at the wake were different, but the fries that they're serving here at Razzle Dazzle and in the galley are very good. Anyway, Razzle Dazzle is good. I think it's better for breakfast. I think that if you're going to go and you don't have a night to go to Razzle Dazzle, just put it as a breakfast option, because they have some unique breakfast offerings. And I would just say leave Razzle Dazzle as a breakfast thing.
Like unicorn toast.
Now, back in the day when Virgin Voyages first started, there used to be drag brunch at Razzle Dazzle, and unfortunately they have not brought drag brunch back.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
But we know, even by the time that we sailed in 2022, they still had not. They didn't have it on our sailing.
I was gonna say I didn't have that on mine, but
yeah. All right, so that I guess it's the next day. trying to place all these things. This is actually technically before Razzle Dazzle too, right? Because it was our day at sea.
All out of order.
Yeah.
These are out of order.
Sure are. But you know what? That's fine. We're going to go with it.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, this was a whiskey tasting.
Fun.
And they didn't have, he made excuses about how they didn't have bourbon. So this was Scotch. And actually, I did enjoy all of these.
Yeah, that McAllister was really good.
I think we're also a little bit more whiskey connoisseurs now that we have visited Kentucky and visited distilleries.
Yeah.
He tried, but I will say my feedback to Virgin on this would be try it a little bit harder.
Well, no, my thing was he kept asking, I don't want to rush it, but I know people are like time sensitive because they have dinners. And there was only like what, 6 or
nobody
7
had
of
dinners.
us?
It was conflicting.
Yeah, and so he kept like rushing through everything, expecting to get people to the dinners. But we all looked at it. We were like, we don't have to rush. You're fine. And he just like kept going.
And then he said a few times, "Oh, I read this or saw this on YouTube." I'm like,
you shouldn't reference that.
He shouldn't be referencing that he learned all his knowledge like 10 minutes before this.
Maybe it was his first one, and
it wasn't.
Nervous.
No, it wasn't. He said it was like his 6th or 7th of the day.
Oh, of the day.
But he was a nice.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy. He was trying to sell the bourbon. So this was $25 per person. I'm not sure that I would do this. I think with the $25, I think I would rather, right now, what Virgin is doing is they're doing a sip and savor menu at the restaurants where you can get 3 cocktails for $25 at your meal, either wine or cocktails. So you could get 3 beverages for $25. I think that that's a better use of your $25.
That's crazy because when Matt and I did our Disney sailing in, I guess I'm an October cruise girl now, but in October, it was $55 on Disney Cruise Line to do the whiskey tasting.
Well, I mean, how many whiskeys did you taste, and how much whiskey did you have? We literally had
4 or 5.
So we had 4 like very much half shots. We did not have full shots.
I don't even think it was half. It's less than that. Yeah.
I mean, it might have been a half shot.
Were they trying to sell you stuff from duty free? Do they sell alcohol like that on Disney? I don't even remember.
I don't think so.
No.
Anyway, I didn't think the price was horrible. I just feel like there's other places you could spend that $25 on the ship to get more value. I felt he was nice enough, but there wasn't enough value in his presentation to say, oh yeah, this is worth $25.
Was it in the shop or was it in the
Yes, it was in the shop. So as we were going, I noticed on the app that, oh, this is in the shop. It's going to be salesy. And he didn't push too hard on sales until the very end. But anyway, he was a nice guy, and
it's nice because I will say the shop that it's in, it's small, and they'll close the gate behind us, so it's just us, so people aren't like walking.
Yeah, there was no one entering the shop as we were doing this.
Very VIP.
Experience.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. But it was, and I'll also say the $25 that.
This is good.
The $25 that you spent for this goes towards any sale. Like when you buy something from
a single bottle.
Oh, so if you wanted to buy a bottle, it was like a deposit.
Correct. So it's not the worst deal.
Yeah, it goes towards a purchase.
Yeah.
If you're gonna buy a bottle.
Which we didn't see anything that like stuck out, so we were like, okay, bye.
Yeah. Key West.
Yeah.
You got some key lime pie.
This is the first time that I had ever been to Key West. The same with TJ. And Key West, of course, is in Florida, but from us, it's like an 8-hour drive just to get down to Key West. So it's not like a hop, skip, and a jump for us to get there. So I had always thought about like, yeah, I'd like to go to Key West on a cruise. That would be a great stop. So this was our opportunity to stop at Key West. We have some tips if you're going to stop in Key West. You could either do like boating activities, which I'm sure a lot of people did, or you could just explore kind of what Key West has to offer. So my advice would be, and I think TJ would agree, get off as soon as you can. Probably that means like 8 o'clock in the morning when the ship docks, and you can walk straight over to the southernmost point where you see us here. The earlier you get there, the less of a wait you'll have, because we waited in a 15 to 20 minute line just to get this picture. It looks like there's no one around, right? That we just walked up and took the picture, but there's a line of people.
But people were nice. They'd like take their pictures and be respectful of the people behind them and say
very nice. We were all patient. There was a group of girls that took about 15 minutes to do all of the variations of photos that they wanted. But everyone was patient and kind and all wanted to do the same thing.
And I think it's because the line was in the shade. People were like, all right, let's move it.
So you should walk here first. And I would just walk down Duval Street all the way down so you get the vibes of what Duval Street is. And then get down here, take your picture, and then you start walking down the street back towards the port. You want to walk on the street that parallels Duval to the southwest. It would kind of be west/south like of Duval Street.
Yeah.
And then you walk, and what will happen is you're going to walk by Hemingway's house. So when you take that route back, you can stop at Hemingway's house if you want to. You can stop at the lighthouse if you want to, which is right across the street from Hemingway's. So you hit two historic things right at once. And then as you continue walking down that street, you will hit Truman's White House, the what do they call it?
The Southern
White House, where Truman spent some number of days of his presidency. He liked to stay there, so you can tour that, and then you can wrap up with key lime pie in the late morning.
Yum.
We went to Kermit's, which there was 2 locations. The location closest to the ship is on Duval, but it was being refurbished. So we had to walk to a further location, which was just a 5 or 10 minutes more walk.
It's not bad.
And then I would just be done with Key West and get back on the ship. Especially if you're going in the summer. Ooh. It was hot.
Yeah. And it was, it kind of gave vibes of like celebration too, which was nice. Even though it's like 8 hours away from us, it still felt like this could be in our backyard. So it wasn't, not to say I wasn't impressed or anything, but it was like, oh, I feel like I've seen this before.
It's definitely Florida vibes. You know, you can tell where a lot of Florida gets its inspiration from is like Key West, the architecture and bringing that Florida vibes into the rest of Florida. I personally would be fine just doing like experiencing more of that beachy vibe in like Anna Maria or Sarasota or something like that.
So we
have you been to Key West, Liz? Did you go on this sailing?
I did this.
What did you guys do?
With my mom. We hopped on. There was like a little train, not like an.
How much was that train?
But it was like it was like a golf cart. I think we paid like $12 a person.
Well, I would like to know where that train was, because all the prices I was looking up, it was like $40 or $50 for a day pass, and I'm like, in what world am I going to pay $100 for the both of us?
It was under 20 for mom and I at least.
Nice.
And it was great because we did talking about Duval Street and then that other street that all those things are at. They were all right there, so we would get off, see you later, and then get back on.
Well, we got our steps in.
But
we sure did.
I'm imagining y'all walking that, and I'm like, oh, like we walked back from the Truman House, and I was like,
the Truman House was nothing.
That was
next to the shore.
Thinking about you walking to the end of the point there.
We did. We walked the whole length of Duval. We stayed in the shadiest side of the street.
We power walked too. But I also saw that they had the option. You could do bike tours. So people were biking around.
Yes, would have been nice. People on the ship were also renting
golf
the
carts.
golf courts, the golf carts, just for the day too. Like, because you can tell who the cruise people are, because on Virgin you wear a bracelet as your room key, so you can tell who belongs on the ship or not. And there were people who had rented the go-karts for the day.
See, I wouldn't trust those Virgin guests with all
like,
the alcohol driving.
Hell no.
Get these visitors out of here.
At least it's earlier.
Because the night before was the the night before.
Right?
Yeah, the night before was Scarlet Night.
Yeah.
Okay, so TJ, what did you think about the key lime pie?
I thought it was very good. It wasn't super tart. Key lime pie, when it's super tart, throws me off.
Delicious.
And I'm like, ugh. But it was very good.
Where did you have yours, Liz?
We did Kermit's right where we picked up the train and right by the port. It's all like right there.
Oh, nice.
I'm glad I went, but now I think Key West is beautiful, especially from the ship. Like, it's really pretty to see it from the ship. I need to go back.
No, yeah. We kind of already, before we even got off, we're in the mindset of, let's do this, and this, and we can get back.
If I do another cruise with that on the itinerary, and it's like a multi-day sailing, and maybe we're on our way to Mexico or something, maybe I would get off for some key lime pie. But now I don't have to stress about going anywhere.
Rushing over.
It's just like Nassau, once you get off at Nassau, you really never have to get off again unless you're doing an excursion or an activity.
And I will say, though, another tip is this is the opportune time. If you do want to do it, get off super early. But then when you get back on, that's when you can go to the pool and relax without a bunch of people.
Because the pool on the day at sea was crazy. But when we got back on the ship from Key West, we just went right over the pool, and there was, I don't know, less than 50 people, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hanging out by the pool.
That's good.
But thank you, Key West. I enjoyed our visit. I love to look at the pictures and the videos that we took. And we'll keep on moving. So this is out of order because Scarlet Night had happened already before Key West.
Who put this together?
God, who did that?
Who did that?
Jeez.
And I even tried to send it in order, but who did that?
God.
It was, anyway, not me. Anyway, so Scarlet Night, another party night, but this is bigger than the PJ party. This is like...
This is their main event.
Like, they're trying to get the whole... They're trying to get the whole ship involved. And really, it's more than just this party that happens on the pool deck. They decorate the roundabout with octopus, blow-up octopus arms.
Tentacles.
And then on the pool deck, they put the full octopus. I don't know if they have a name for the octopus or not.
We should look that up.
We should look that up. But anyway.
That was so much fun.
It was really cool.
It was such a good vibe. There was such a good energy. No one was crazy. Everyone was like respectful. Everyone was just having fun. And that's the best part. And we noticed when you scan the crowd, it's a good mix of people. It's not just people our age. There's people
different ages, nationalities, ethnicities.
It's a good mix.
Skin color, like a mix of people on this ship.
How it should be.
I told TJ it's how you want the world to be. And it just was like, I think everyone, like the whole sailing, like when we first sailed Virgin back in 2022, cruising had just come back and people were just getting back into it. And the Virgin concept, I knew in my mind what the Virgin concept was, but on that sailing in 2022, it leaned older people. Definitely older people.
I remember you saying that.
Even kind of with the Med, but the Med is a certain type of sailing, I would say.
Because it's over there, yeah.
And it was the first sailing of the season that we were on last year.
And I think for both sailings that we did, Scarlet Night, it got rained out. So we didn't have the option to do it. So
we had perfect weather this sailing.
We did, yeah. Nothing got rained out.
That's so nice.
What I would say is that Virgin is not doing any 3-night cruises. So they are not doing any kind of cruises that would qualify as a booze cruise. And so at first, back when I, before this sailing really, before I understood, I was like, Virgin should do a 3-night. Why don't they do a 3-night? Well, I think one of the reasons why is to keep it so that it's not a booze cruise completely. And it is not the most expensive cruise, but it's not the cheapest cruise either. And so that helps it not become something like Carnival that you see videos from the Carnival cruises being ratchet. It is not stupid like that. It does a little bit classier, I guess.
In a way.
Yeah, a little classier.
It's way more luxury than
it's elevated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely elevated. So I was happy that we stayed up for this because this was like what? Was this 10:45? I think this was 10:45.
It started a little earlier, but it's still late for us. Yeah.
It was great. It was great to hang out. I probably could have stayed up on the top deck. We did go down to the bottom near the octopus just kind of get some more shots. But I probably could have stayed and people watched them being crazy dancing in the pool for longer.
I feel like we kept both looking at each other like, "Are you ready to go?"
I kind of like I was
like, I could have stayed, but I was like, if he wants to go, I'll go.
I kind of would have stayed a little bit just so people watch.
But next time we'll stay longer.
Yeah, we'll stay longer.
Because the theatrics in the pool is really cool.
I do like though
dancing and jumping around.
Yeah, I do like that the Happenings crew were one of their priorities was safety, and so around the pool they'll have some of the crew standing in the middle, which is the deeper part, and you weren't allowed to jump in there, and they were very like keeping an eye on everyone to make sure that no one jumped in. But everyone was respectful and saw that, so no one jumped in. But you were allowed to like stand in it in the shallow parts, which was nice. And like splash around and have fun.
I jumped in on mine.
So Rachel says I would definitely not go during hurricane season. Okay, I get that.
Isn't there
one
going on now?
A hurricane?
Yeah.
I haven't looked it up.
Forming.
But Rachel, the ship can go wherever it wants, so it can avoid the hurricane.
It does, yeah.
You might be safer on the ship.
Yeah. It'll just go around it in a way.
Yeah, you'd go somewhere different.
Even with ours, when we first set sail, it wasn't anything like hurricane worthy, but they took note of like high winds at some point, and they were like, "We're just going to go around it." So I was like, "Oh, great."
It's crazy that they can do that.
So the last thing that we did that we hadn't done before is had brunch at the wake. And the wake is the steakhouse on board Virgin Voyages ships, and it is in the aft, which overlooks the wake of the ship.
I noticed on our first two sailings, we've always done the wake like right when we got on board for dinner, and it's a great sunset view.
Yes.
It's
great to do, like if you're doing, I think the first time we did it was out of Miami as well. And so having dinner at the wake and leaving Miami and just you're eating dinner as you leave Miami, that's cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Because there's like huge bay windows down there. So you see it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we both had a Benedict, both of the Benedicts, which actually this is the same Benedict pictured here that is pictured in the other picture.
Because they were both mine.
Yeah, but it's fine. And then the French toast was good, but both Benedicts were delicious. I actually didn't try TJ's.
Which one did you have?
I had the pork belly.
And I did the crab.
And both had different bread at the bottom. So
mine was like a cornbread.
And then mine was just an English muffin. But it was good. Delicious.
So we would definitely recommend it.
Love the wake.
Yeah.
And then we did it again for dinner.
We did it for dinner. And the girl next to us ordered a tomahawk just for herself. I don't understand why they did that. Did they not know what a tomahawk is? And her husband, I think they had just gotten married is what it sounded like to me. And her husband got the New York strip, so he had his own steak. And then they come out with hers, and it's a full-ass tomahawk. I'm like,
why?
Girl, she didn't even eat the whole thing.
Of course
Brian
not.
turned around to her joking. I was like, "You better finish that."
Yeah, you better eat all that. How do you not know that a tomahawk is and why did the server not say that is for two people?
Right.
Oh, it is?
Yes, a tomahawk. We've had tomahawks before, but we share it.
Jeez.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It sure was. A poor
That's
girl.
crazy.
Anyway, you had to be there too, just to witness that.
Oh.
All right.
Because they had to bring out like a separate like side table just to set it down and cut it.
So here's our plug. If you want to get a quote on a Virgin Voyages ship for sailing for a voyage, visit the link here or scan the QR code. TJ will get you a quote for a Virgin Voyages cruise.
Try to find you all the best deals.
And I think they're doing 70 or 80% off the Second Sailor, and they're doing some credits right now for the ship or bar credits. I will say, when you see the prices of the drinks, they range anywhere from like $9 for a cocktail up to $15 or $16 for a cocktail. Know that you're not paying a tip on that. That is, that's just the price. So it might kind of look at first like, oh, that doesn't seem like much of a discount from what I would get at home or get wherever. But if you think about the tip and the taxes all included in that, that's literally just a straight charge being charged to your room. And then if you can get a deal with some credit, then that helps the whole situation. There is no drink packages on Virgin, but you can buy bar tabs in advance, and a lot of times they give you a deal on those bar tabs.
Yeah, there's usually some sort of promotion.
Yeah, speaking of new stuff, right before, I think the last night before we went to the room, we went to, what room is that? It's by the arcade, but we got boozy floats. So it was like an ice cream float with booze in it. And that was $9, but it was
I thought that was worth it. The $9 for that.
And our server was nice. Our bartender was nice. Right as we were about to get up, she was like, "Do you want a little more in there?" And we're like, "Yes."
Hello.
So I slid my glass right back over. She just put not even half a shot in, but I was like, "That's something. Thank you."
Just a little floater.
And another thing, when you book with TJ, it's no additional cost to you. Whenever you are booking travel, like on the regular cruises website, a Disney website, a Virgin website, wherever you're booking, they always have commission built into the price. So if you're not using a travel planner, you're basically kissing away money because you're not getting that personalized service from a travel agent. So make sure you use a travel agent and use TJ.
Put him to work.
Put him to work, okay? Because I'm sick of it.
All
right. So what we're going to talk about next, we are going to talk about Disney. And so while we were on our VIP tour, on
the news broke.
Let's see, Wednesday of was it Wednesday or Tuesday? Tuesday of whatever day it was, last week.
Tuesday, yeah.
This was announced. So they are retiring Genie Plus after 2.5, 3 years. They're retiring Genie Plus, and they are now bringing on what they're calling just Walt Disney World Lightning Lane. And they have multi-pass Lightning Lanes and they have single-pass Lightning Lanes. The multi-pass is similar to what we've understood Genie Plus to be, where when you purchased Genie Plus, you were able to book Lightning Lanes for multiple attractions throughout the day. Single pass is for those e-ticket top attractions like Guardians of the Galaxy, Tron. Let's see what else. Is that the only two right now? Is that really the only two? Yeah, I guess that's the only two.
Virtual queue, yeah.
For single pass that you can do. So what's going to happen is now when you want to do multi-pass and do Lightning Lane, you will be able to book 3 experiences in advance. If you are staying at Walt Disney World property, you will have 7 days that you can plan. And once you're 7 days out from your arrival, you can plan your entire stay up to 14 days. So if you have a 5-day trip, 7 days out from your first day there, you can start planning, but then you can plan the whole time that you're there. So you can do it in one shot. You don't have to keep going back each day to book.
Which is nice.
If you are not staying at Walt Disney World, that also includes Swan and Dolphin. So Swan and Dolphin is included on the list. If you're staying at Swan and Dolphin, you have those privileges. And Shades of Green. If you're not staying at one of those Walt Disney World properties or one of those properties we just mentioned, you have a single ticket, you're staying off-site, or you're an annual pass holder, you can book 3 days in advance. And so the same rule would apply. You'd be able to book 3 experiences ahead of time. Once you've used your first experience, when it's your time to come into the park and use those 3 experiences you booked in advance, once you use that first experience, you can book your next experience. Or if the window, kind of like when the park opens, you have a 2-hour window, and then you can start booking more fast passes, you can book that way as well to quote unquote stack. Mm-hmm. At least that's what the instructions said. So the way that they're reading right now, that's what the instructions are. And then single lightning lane, nice. Single lightning lane is similar. You're just buying it in advance. Mm-hmm. So
I think overall, I think for families, this will be a lot easier. Like,
I agree.
People who are not here traveling to Disney, it'll be easier to just book it in advance.
I agree.
I think that's one of the biggest selling points for it.
I agree. I think that people will be able to work the system with this as well, like stacking and figuring it all out and getting the most out. They'll probably be able to get more out of it now that they can book 3 in advance than they ever did before. It's kind of like if Genie Plus and Fast Pass Plus had a baby, this would be it. So I like this. There was talk about for travel agents, it's going to be a nightmare because they're going to be having to do this for their clients. Okay. Well, if that's a service that you're willing to provide to your clients, then yeah, you should do it. But
I feel like people were doing it already anyway. So,
but I think that it's. I mean, the travel agents didn't have to do it before because the guests had to do it themselves in the park. So this could be more work for a travel agent, but then don't sell Disney or don't offer it.
At least from my experience with something like this, I'm happy that it's not the same window as dining, because to have to do someone's dining reservations and then their Genie Plus, that would make for an exhaustive morning. But I'm really excited at the fact that maybe some of our guests or potential clients, or maybe clients that we have that get really stressed about what they're going to do that day. At least they have a week to sort of like, okay, I'll do your initial fill in. These are the things that you told me that you want. I'll get them booked. And then you have the next 6 days to change, alter, adjust, and then you can run with it from there. So I think that that's really helpful.
I think it's going to be good. I think that for those of us who did Fast Pass Plus and knew how to work Fast Pass Plus, that were you able to pick 3 attractions with Fast Pass Plus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's going to be great.
I'm really excited. I did get a couple panic text messages from folks, and I'm like, no. I'm like, this is good. This is actually good. Like,
whenever new stuff comes out into the world like this, especially with Walt Disney World, people freak out. They freak their freak, and then they're gonna be pissed in 10 years when it's gone and it's something else. So.
It's a continuous cycle.
It's just a cycle, and that's why I say, you just got to learn it as quickly as you can to, adjust, and you pay if you can pay. If you can't, don't. But I say that it's all worth it. If you are already spending the amount of money that you spend on tickets to Disney,
to just get in the door,
you can just buy Lightning Lane. And you don't have to buy it for every single day. Like, you don't necessarily have to buy it for Epcot, but...
Right, there's certain parks you don't need it for.
Well, and this summer, you don't even have to buy anything because all the waits are so low. The waits are the lowest. I forgot the chart. I think the waits this summer are the lowest they've been since like 2018 or something crazy like that. So, and we've seen images. Shannon just posted an image the other day of the parks just like empty, like Epcot being dead. Like. There's no festival happening at Epcot right now. Even the other day, somebody was walking into the Magic Kingdom and it was like dead, crickets. So I don't know what kind of period we're in. It has to do with Epic Universe. That's just me.
People are holding out for next year.
Yep. So. And so anything that happens positive in Universal, it's going to impact Disney in some way, and vice versa, because
100%.
people save their monies to come here, and get things out of the way all at once. So, what happens at Universal is going to positively impact Disney as well. Maybe not in the way that Disney would want, but it's going to positively impact them in some way.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak on DAS because I don't really understand the full thing, Rachel. So I really don't I can't really speak on that. I just can't speak on that because I really don't know the whole story on that. I don't have my full head wrapped around that. Liz, do you want to speak on that?
My politically friendly correct response is I was travel agents, we were never the judge and jury on who could benefit and who could apply. My perspective was always, this is the tool that Disney has given us to share with you. I encourage you to apply as soon as you're available, and then they'll let you know what your options are. I do know that there was a lot of misuse from folks, and I feel like that's what made Disney have to change it up a little bit. And Disney's not afraid of change, obviously, with a change like this, with the multi-pass and single pass.
This is an early change. This is very much the Lightning Lane, and going to multi-pass and single pass is a very early change, and very quick to switch from Genie Plus not being received well to Lightning Lane in a matter of 3 years. This is a very, very quick. You have to understand, on the other side of this, on the teams that are building these systems, the fact that this is already released just a couple of years after Genie Plus was released, I don't think people really understand how big of a deal this is. I think some people might think, this is a few clicks of a button, to make this system work. Absolutely not. This is it's a very quick turnaround to meet the guests' needs of where the guests said that they were, and they did not like Genie Plus. And this is a very quick turnaround.
Right.
And exactly. so Disney, you're right in that fact. Disney is not afraid to make changes. I too believe, and that will be my answer to anything said about DAS. The only thing I know is that it has been abused in the past, especially 10 years ago. It was abused ridiculously. And because of social media, it amplifies everything. So even though it was being abused by a few. When you get social media involved and people, there are secrets that we don't tell people, that we know how to get around. Yeah, we know how to get around certain things on property that we will never tell anyone, because I would never want it to get out. And I think that the people that know those secrets also don't want it to get out. But the DAS thing, that information over the years being put out into social media made it a real issue, because 10 years ago we didn't have the social media presence of people that we have now. So it's not even influencers.
I think it was last year, and it's not related to DAS, but it was the when they changed child swap, where before you could have a child swap and you could bring in your whole family reunion with you, and it could be 15 people in the group, and they would let everybody ride again except for the one person that would hang with the kid. And then they changed it, right? They dropped it down to, I think, your nuclear family. So it's up to I want to say 6 people now that you're allowed to do for child swap, because the premise is it's your one little kid that can't wait. It doesn't mean that your entire family of 25 gets to do it again. So I think that for the people that it will benefit, they need to continue to voice that it's benefiting them. And then I think for people that maybe were removed from the list could continue to voice their opinions on why it's important to have it. But certainly the people that are getting the most mad are maybe ones that were used to having it, that I don't know. It's stressful. But I always like to keep myself removed from it. Like, I don't approve or deny. I'm not the judge or jury. This is the system that's in place, and you have to use it.
Yeah. And then they've simplified things in the app. So this kind of, they've simplified names of things, which I do believe this naming system works a lot better.
I think that helps, yeah.
The overall is Lightning Lane. And you have a multi-pass Lightning Lane, and you have a single pass Lightning Lane. So it simplifies the whole verbiage. The Genie Plus and Lightning Lane, and then not even having Genie Plus, you could just have Disney Genie that's helping you plan your day, and then you have Genie Plus, and then the Lightning Lanes, and then it just was too much. So I think that this simplifies everything.
Which will be nice.
Anything else that I want to mention here? Option to purchase. You can purchase them in one transaction, which is nice too. So you can select your multi-pass for the park that you want, and then you can also select the attraction. And you can do that in one foul swoop, so you're not having to go in and buy individual things.
Like, even remember when I was there in, was it April? I was like, okay, I'm going to do Tron. Brian, you do this thing. Chelsea, you do this thing. Like, it's nice to just have it be all in one place.
Agreed.
So anyway, I was just reading that to see if there's anything I wanted to touch on. But I am happy for this change. I think it's a good change, simplifying things, making things easier, planning. I mean, people love to plan. We love to plan. That's part of the fun.
100%.
So having all of your ducks in a row before you arrive to Walt Disney World, that sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
So I think, even as a kid, really you get to... Even as a kid, you get to pick out what you want to do. Like,
right.
For me, I remember growing up going to Disney. I'd always watch. You remember you get the DVDs in the mail, and it would do.
Yes.
It would like show
planning videos.
Yeah, it would showcase all the rides. And
we didn't get those, so I don't know what my mom did. To, I would always take us off that list.
I would always sneak online and put my mom's email in and address so that it gets into the house. Yeah. But I think it'll help, especially in that aspect with kids. You can plan what to do with the kids. Hey, pick out this ride, this ride.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do before, like, you all come together, like, either 7 days or 3 days, and you sit in front of the computer and start planning your trip, or at least the attractions and what you're going to be doing. And so, and this will also help you plan around your dining reservations. If you have dining reservations, it'll help you avoid the dining reservations that you already made.
Yeah, change fees and things like that. No, it's really good.
Well, we went really long on this episode, but thank you for everyone for coming in. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for those who didn't say anything. Yes. Mom says we didn't get the CDs. We got Magic Bands that got us pumped. Mom, that is not back in the 90s. We were not getting Magic Bands in the 90s.
I got a VHS tape at one point.
Wait, so did you get Magic Bands when you stayed at a resort, right?
Yeah, but that was that was here in our adult life, not in growing up.
I remember getting the DVDs. They come in this kind of somewhat big size envelope.
Yes, like the big thick cardboard envelope.
We didn't get that.
I'd watch those.
It's like your acceptance letter from college would come in that kind of envelope.
Right. Yeah.
No, the acceptance letter was your mom's credit card swiping through to pay for the trip. Poor Mary Jo. Rachel says she still has the DVDs.
Wait, can I have a copy? I really want to rewatch it.
You can look it up online.
I'm sure you
on YouTube.
I feel like
I'm sure.
Tim probably has a copy if you want it. But now you for those of us that would want to watch the most updated version, you can sign up still on the website, but they email you links to watch the videos.
That's not the same.
So it's not like you can just put in, a DVD.
I miss Stacy. I will have to say, the Stacy channel that they have now, because it had been, we stayed at Wilderness Lodge earlier this year
at the Walt Disney World Resort.
The station they have that used to be Stacy, it is shit. It is horrible. And nothing will ever compare to Stacy.
I don't think it's horrible.
Oh, it's just horrible.
It plays the music, which is nice.
Because Stacy was like, she took you like through every inch of property and was showing you.
Her outfit would change to
yes. I want to watch Stacy right now.
Oh,
I need to figure out if she lives in Central Florida.
The Lost Bros do stuff with her.
Oh, I need to find her.
Can we get Stacy on as a guest? Oh my god!
Let's reach out to her.
I would melt. I would freak out like when we had Adriana on.
I was gonna say, I'll ask the questions because I didn't grow up watching her, so you two can fan out, like fangirl.
Oh my gosh.
I guess if you stayed at Fort Wilderness, you wouldn't have had a TV to watch her on.
No, because that's the only reason.
True, because you were just in the woods.
Yeah, we
were just in the woods
with the tent. No, so the only Disney resort that we stayed at growing up as a kid was at that resort, but we just stayed in our RV, so we didn't have that.
Must Do Disney. That was the name of the series.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna watch it now.
Is it? Let's see. Is the full? And she would change. It would update throughout the years.
She's all over YouTube. Oh yeah. Wait.
Now I want to watch Barbie's birthday at Epcot. That was a thing.
Mickey Blog 9 months ago. So she's capable of doing interviews.
He's really looking it up, y'all. What is that?
Yes.
It's so good.
It has the TV static and everything. Anyways.
Oh my god. Oh, it just makes my heart so happy.
Anyway, all right. Well, we're gonna close it out here,
so they can.
Grandma's got to go to bed.
Relive their youth.
Oh, I'm definitely putting
rewatch those.
Love Stacy.
I'm 100% turning this off and putting on Stacy.
Me too. I'm playing it for TJ.
Yeah, watch it, fall asleep.
Chain him down and make him watch it. No, he'll love it.
I'm sure it will.
Like you've never seen her? Like, do you even know a face that we're talking about?
Yeah, because Brian showed me before, but I haven't sat down and actually watched it.
All right. We're signing off.
I guess I got to do homework now.
We're signing off. We will be here. Oh, let's look at the calendar just to see. We should be here next week.
Next time I'm going to be in a blue Hawaiian print rose dress, just like Stacey has when she goes to Downtown Disney. Or I guess it was Downtown Disney back then.
It was Downtown Disney.
I'm going to find one online and I'm going to buy it.
And Rachel said, the last thing we'll end with, Rachel said that Disney used to have a Barbie stage show, which I think it was was it at Epcot? I think it was at Epcot.
I don't remember that.
So I gotta look that up.
I think that was before all of our times.
Look that up.
All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see you.
Bye.
If you need help with anything, reach out to TJ or me or Liz or anyone. We're here to help, and we'll see you guys all real soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Let's go watch Stacy.
Okay.
Let's go watch Stacy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my